Yes, peeps. Welcome back to All Things Sky Blues. Hope everyone's well on the finished article. We are back with a special episode today after a podcast that myself and Rich did and Adam did last week. This is going to be a pretty much light-hearted show, as you know. Cobb haven't played for a while, but you know what? It doesn't stop us from doing podcasts. So without further ado, let me bring my main man on the show, Rich. How you doing, mate?
Hi, mate. Fantastic.
Nice. How was your Christmas? Good Christmas?
Yeah, it's all right. It's tiring. Was on my feet a lot, but uh, yeah, it's all well. Just glad to. I'm glad to be able to sit and chat football. To be honest.
Yeah, I know it's been a bit frustrating few weeks. Normally we'd be talking about games that Cover played, but unfortunately due to other teams' COVID situation, that hasn't worked out. But you know what? Let's get into it. Let's get into the swing of things, and let's get cracking. So I'm going to start off with a topic of mine. I would say game of the year. What do you reckon?
Game in 2021. Right. I'm gonna think.
Well, this was an easy one for me. I'm going
I
to
had,
call it this year. I
I
have
had
to
I
say,
had a 1, 2, and 3 in my head. Game of the year. I had a 1, 2, and 3 in my head. We've got see Brentford at home back last season.
right? Yes.
Has to be in the top three.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was. I think we just lost to Norwich. I think, or we'd had a bad defeat midweek, and we were dangerously close to the drop zone at the time. Don't think anyone expected us to go and beat Brentford, and we did. And what was a first time they wore last season's. It weren't the third kit; it was a
Oh yeah,
special kit that they
the
brought out,
championship shirt.
the
Yeah, I
championship
remember.
shirt.
Yeah.
And yeah, nobody expected us to beat Brentford, but we put in one of our best performances of the season, and we did. That's got to be in the top three. Um, Going on to this season, obviously the Fulham game, 4-1 there, and also just for the importance of it, the Rotherham game. What?
Yes.
Which
Yes.
one were you thinking?
Well, so the number one I had was Fulham, beating Fulham 4-1. For me was a statement win. Number three was when we beat Keeper at home 3-2. Uh, and then I would say number two was beating Nottingham Forest at home
Yeah,
first game of the season.
yeah. I think the QPR one that you mentioned was actually 2020, wasn't it?
Okay, apologies,
Because
my
it was
bad.
quite early on in last season. But
Yeah,
yeah, Forest. I forgot to mention that one. First game of the season.
for me
Great.
that one stands out because since then the style that we played to the last minute. I know it's funny we keep talking about the cliche. You should always play to the final whistle, but I think this season we've actually done it best. I mean, you were there when we came back from the dead against Bournemouth. I know we covered that last week. But yeah, I think it's been a standout year for Cov. Um, Punching above the weight. I would say we are on the way to securing safety. I know Rich's favorite word. The magic number 50, I think he's looking for, or 44. We'll see. But yeah, go for it, mate.
Yeah. Well, there's also I forgot to put. Would have I possibly put this one in my top three? Bristol City, the 3-2. Just the way we came back from behind twice with 10 men, and like you said, we kept going till the end, just like we did against Forest, Reading, and so many other games this season. And that was a thriller, that 3-2. But I'm probably going to stick with Fulham for game of the year. I'll agree with you.
I mean, if you want to throw in the most frustrating game for me, had to be. But I don't know. It's a toss up between Blackburn away that we went to, or Birmingham at home. Simply
Yeah,
because the two goals we conceded against Blackburn, I think they weren't really in it. And in the second half, I thought we could have taken all 3 points. Blackburn were literally clinging on. And then the Birmingham game at home, I watched on TV. For me, that was frustrating because, well, they're the whipping boys of the league. So really, we should have taken 3 points there.
Yeah, I mean the
But
Blackburn game I was quite happy with because I would have took a point before the game, and it was probably a fair result on reflection. The Birmingham game was a frustrating one because quality-wise was just so much better than them, but just the final ball, we just couldn't break them down. And if we'd got one goal in that game, we would have probably scored a hatful. But it was, but yeah, that's probably the most certain. There's probably games I'm forgetting from last season. But yeah. Another frustrating one was Wickham away last season, the 0-0.
yes.
Although
I mean,
back then I was thinking any point was a good point because so
I'm going to go slightly off topic, but I'll bring this one up. How would you rate Mark Robbins this season? I mean, when I say rate him, I'm saying that in terms of his tactics, in terms of his approach to games. How would you rate that out of 10? Considering we're in the championship for a second season running.
1 minute.
Yeah, no worries. Whilst Rich goes and attends to his little one, I am just gonna plug in to say that I think Mark Robbins has been had a phenomenal season. Yes, he's made some frustrating calls, but you know what it is. It's part and parcel of the game. I know people slate him, but I don't think you could really say he's done too much wrong. He's taking us in the right direction. I mean, it's been a long way since the days of Rich's favorite manager, Russell Slade, which we keep having this argument over. But yeah, Rich, go for it.
We can't really knock him because the table and the points tally and the football we've played speaks for itself. Yeah, there has been decisions. Well, I mean, you, me, and Adam have done these podcasts and we've talked about some of his decisions, like bringing a striker on in the last minute of a game that we're losing, and waiting until the 89th minute to bring. Yeah, you do question that sort of thing, but at the end of the day, there's a reason why he's doing the job he's doing, and we're sat up in the stands. So,
well, that's true. Sometimes as fans, I think, but you have to say that it's a respect to say that Mark Robbins has actually got the guys and the fans' expectations up, because I used to remember back in League Two. Geez, how long ago was that? Would be pissed off at performances, but there's always a method to the madness, and I think we're seeing that now. That he's actually got the guys playing a lot better than a lot of other teams. I think a lot of other teams fear us. But if we had like Adam said and you guys said last week, if we had a clinical finisher, geez, I don't even know where we'd be in the league. I think we'd pretty much be up there. I think we've created the most chances this season.
You see the way teams waste time against us. I'm not talking about when they're winning or in the dying few minutes of the game, but from about the 46th minute, you see the way teams time waste against us and try and run the clock down, and that's sometimes when the game's still level. So yeah, teams definitely fear us.
Fair enough. Let's bring it on. I mean, I'm going to go into this one. Player of the year, Rich. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I had a 1, 2, and 3 for this one. Well, third place, and I'm going to give him a mention. No longer with us, but Leo Ostergaard.
Yes,
because he was so instrumental in helping us stay up last season with his performances at the back. But yeah, I think when we did the podcast the other week, I think we said McFadzean at number 1 because again, solid. He's been solid for us, not just last season and this, and he's improved a lot this season as well. I feel. Also, I'd probably put Matty Godden in my top 3.
Yeah.
I know he was out injured. He's had his injury problems earlier on in the year, but he's hit form now. So,
I mean, yeah, I would agree. So I'm gonna go number 3. I'll go McFadzean. I would definitely say that he's definitely improved leaps and bounds from last season. He's been solid in defense, got a couple of goals as well, so can't blame him. Number 2, I'm actually gonna put O'Hare. So I know Adam hates or as critical of O'Hare. But for me, I think Callum O'Hare is a provider. He's one that creates a lot of chances, and he's probably the most foul player in the championship.
Yeah,
Simply, I remember his skill to turn the Forest defense before laying the ball off for Gyökeres. I think Gyökeres to get the equaliser.
yeah,
So the guy does have a lot of talent. Yes, could he improve his finishing? Absolutely. And then number one for me, I would put Mike Godden as well, simply because I like his killer instinct, his ability to finish. He's got this no nonsense. Gyökeres, I think, has been a breath of fresh air, but I think he's sort of tailed off.
yeah. We've
Just
got to
because
mention Hamer as well.
oh,
I
Hamer,
think
yes,
I think probably the reason we've probably not put him in our top three is he was so good in the first half of last season, and has he improved much since then? But he set such a high standard then that that's
yeah,
possibly why we haven't put him
absolutely.
in our top three here. But yeah,
Before
maybe he
before we
should be in our
carry
top three as well.
before we carry on, Rich, I've got some comments I'd like to bring up. So Darren has put a couple of comments. He's put Big Fads as a player of the year. Fair enough. Glenn Walkfin from Sky Blue Hub. Thank you very much for joining in, mate. Appreciate the like and support. He's put Simon Moore. Actually, that's not a
Yeah,
bad shout.
yeah.
Simon Moore.
Nearly said him instead of Godden.
Yeah.
He clinched. I put Godden in my top three ahead of him just because he was here last season. But yeah, Simon Moore's come in this season and in goal replaced
What was it? His double?
Morosi.
Yeah. Who was his double save against? I can't remember where
Was it
he had the blinder against. I can't
was it
remember.
Reading?
Yes, Reading, the double save that
Was it
kept them out. But yeah,
was it
Glenn
Middlesbrough?
Walken has gone Faz, Hamer, and Godden as his top three. Fair enough. And then Darren has gone Fads, O'Hare, and Godden. Okay, fair enough. He's gone reverse order. Fair enough. Yeah, appreciate the comments as always, guys. Thank you very much for joining in. But yeah, go for it, Rich. You were saying something about Hamer.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, Hamer would have probably should. There's possibly we're probably not doing him justice, not putting him in our top three. But I think he set such a high standard when he first came that we probably take it for granted what we're going to see from him. So,
Rich, I want to ask you a question. I know this has been circling the threads a lot. So there's been a lot of debate on whether we should keep Hamer, sell him, or what do you reckon?
well, every player's got their price, but I'd like to see him stay till the end of the season at least. I know his value will go down, but because obviously he'll have less on his contract. But I'd rather end of the day we're just outside the playoffs, so I'd rather give it a good go.
Fair enough. Darren's got another comment. Sorry, we'll change my second place. One to Dom Hyam. Double save was against Middlesbrough. Nice
Yeah,
one, Darren.
Darren's right. I remember.
Yeah,
I
nice
remember
one.
because
And
me and him did
I
the
vaguely remember.
podcast
Yes,
after that. Yeah,
yes, I remember now.
I remember
Absolutely.
talking about it now.
Thanks for the correction, Darren. Appreciate that. Nice. So next, going after we've done Player of the Year, let's go on to Goal of the Year.
Oh. After
What's your favorite?
I think about this one now.
I
For the sheer,
I just thought something to get you thinking. Can't make it too
for the
easy.
sheer importance, Ostergaard against Rotherham, but Dom Hyam scored a beauty against Barnsley. It was a game after that, sort of thing you don't expect from your centre back, but that one from the edge of the box. I'll tell you what, you'll start saying them and how I remember them, but mine. Just trying to think of some of the goals we scored. Forest.
I mean, it doesn't really have to be tied to anything. It could just be the
Yeah.
one that is Goal of the Year for you. Everyone's opinion is going to be different. I mean, like I said, I think that O'Hare's goal did he score a goal against Bristol City?
Yeah, O'Hare got the equaliser against Bristol City. That was for the quality of the goal. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yes. Fair enough. Fair. What do you think of more? Glenn's got a comment here. So he said, sell Hamer to Villa if the price is right and bring in 2 loans. Interesting. Nice one, Glenn. Thank you very much for that. What are your thoughts on that, Rich?
It wouldn't be nice losing him to Villa, would it? But yeah, if the price, every player has the price, and
Well, the funny thing is, Villa have 100 million in the bank. So if you can prize out a good, decent amount from them, then why not, mate? You might as well give
yeah,
us 100 million. Well, you could have 100 Hamer for 100 million. Then we'll have enough money to buy the club out and get really get.
I'd want to squeeze as much as I could out of them.
Yeah, why not, mate? They let our hair go for free. Okay, yeah. Darren's goal. He says,
Yeah.
Madsen's goal against Fulham.
Yeah, that was hit well. That was our second in that game, I think. No,
Yes.
Godden scored the penalty. That was our second, weren't it?
Yes.
I think Matson made it 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a lovely hit shot. That was.
And then Glenn has put another one. He says, I thought the 4th goal against Fulham was a great team move. Yeah, I thought absolutely. Great team movement. Can't get enough of that win. I think I could watch the highlights again.
Although, how could I forget? And it was only a few weeks ago, so how can I forget Todd Kane against Bournemouth? Okay, it might have been a fluke, but
he wants to win the assist. He's like, yeah, I want that. Fair enough.
You know what? It was it might have been meant as a cross, but the importance of it and if he did mean it, the quality of it. Okay, he was out by the wind. Yeah.
Nice. Darren's got another comment here. Says, don't want a team of loans. Keep Hamer. It's interesting. Yeah, it's got a valid point. But obviously it's going to split opinion because everyone's going to either want to cash in on him or make the most of it, I guess. Nice one, Darren. Appreciate that. Yeah, anyway, going back to you, Rich. Hopefully that's giving you some time to think.
I'll tell you what, we'll finish the podcast, and later on I'll be thinking, how did I forget to mention that one? And
yeah, it's typical, mate. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
I'm just thinking of some of Jokeres's. I'm just going through some of them in my head.
Okay, so Glenn's got a comment here. Who starts on Wednesday? Kane, Dabo, and Matson, 2 from 3. Ooh. Actually, I'll put that over to you, Rich. What do you reckon? Who would you like to see?
I don't know. Dabo's. I definitely don't want to see Dabo at centre back, so probably might be a tough one. I don't think he will leave Dabo out, to be honest, but possibly like to see Kane and Matson.
Yeah, I would say Kane deserves a chance to actually get a run out and actually go out and do something because he's done well. I think probably Dabo needs a bit of a break.
Yeah, not that I dislike Dabo, but
no,
like you say, but I love the guy. But yeah, a break could do him some good.
Yeah, probably needs to just take. The competition would be good for him to just get a bit of a break and get himself sorted in training. So Glenn's also put another comment. He said it should be Kane and Matson. He reckons, which is fair. But I've heard a rumor that was it Real Madrid are in for or Barcelona are in for Matson or someone. I know he's not a top player. He's from Chelsea, but I think he'd be a big loss. If we can't keep him, but only time will tell. Darren's put another comment here saying the winner against Forest, first game back. McFadzean, yeah. Absolutely. Love that game. Nice one, Darren. Interesting. Nice. So, Rich, over to you. I mean, what other awards do you want to go with? Save of the season so far?
Well, we've mentioned a triple save from Simon Moore against Middlesbrough. But if you want to go back, if we're going for the whole of 2021, if you want to go back to that save Ben Wilson made against Stoke in the first half against Stoke last season.
Yes. I remember it well.
Stoke away.
So, Rich, here's a question for you that Darren's put up. Rich, Are you going to the Spinks versus Cov United game at the Butts tomorrow at 3:00?
I actually really fancied going to that, but I've kind of agreed to go to watch Leamington play tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Leamington versus Talford.
Fair enough.
So
Are you going with your best mate?
yeah, I'm going with you know the guy Dan.
We do know, indeed. Nice one, mate. As always, Darren, thank you very much for your comments. Yeah, going on, Rich. What I was saying was, what are the other awards would you like to give out? I mean, okay, let me not put awards out there. Let me ask you a question. Based on where we are currently, and ignore the fact that we've still got 2 games in hand, what do you think is an ideal, in an ideal promotion, because we all want to get promoted, but realistically, where do you think we'll finish?
I'm still going with the take each game as it comes mentality.
Yeah.
I think we're going to need a little bit of activity in January, and I think we are going to need a lot of luck with injuries and suspensions. But where we're playing, we could sneak that playoff spot.
We could.
I don't want to
think
get carried away. It's the first time really I've said that out loud, but
no, that's true. But I think, given our performances this season, we've actually done pretty well, and it shows that we can compete in the championship, even though we've not really spent a lot of money. But as always, it's good to keep the hope alive, and we'll see what happens. Darren's put a comment here. He reckons we'll finish 10th. Fair enough, Darren. It's not bad.
I just want to see us in amongst it for as long as possible, and then if we're still in or around the playoffs with 5 or 6 games to go, then there's no reason why we can't do it. But
no, that is true. That is true. Absolutely. Nice one, Darren. Thanks as always. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I mean, what would you say would be the magic number to survive, stay up in the championship?
they always say 51, don't they? But last season it was only 44.
Yeah, so Derby stayed up.
It'd probably be something in between that this season.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be a low number again, actually, because there's 2 teams with points deductions. I think we're probably talking about 48, perhaps.
Fair enough. All right, let me bring another topic up. Here, this one, you'll like this one. Best game atmosphere at the CBS this season. What do you reckon? Or this year, if you like.
Well, I think the first game back here against Forest.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I remember when Twist and Shout got going in the second half. That first half performance in that game by City was flat, and I think it was almost like the fans got them going in the second half. And I think the fans sang the ball over the line.
Well, they did when
that Forest game, but also Peterborough on the Friday night, 20,000 there, great crowd for a Friday night. Got behind the team, and there's another one. I was just thinking of. My mind's gone again. I'm just trying to go through the games. Birmingham was a good atmosphere, to be fair. Just nothing happened in the game. We just needed that goal. I think the roof would have come off if City had scored that night. Coming back, I actually missed the Fulham game. I watched that on Sky, but
yes, I remember it well.
Just trying to go through the games again. Fulham.
Middlesbrough.
Yeah, Middlesbrough. Decent. They've all been good atmospheres. Much better, much more positive atmosphere now than what we had at the Rico before. As well.
Yeah, so
if it's a bad pass or something like that, the negativity before if a player made a bad pass, especially if it was a certain player who was a whipping boy for the fans, the fans would all be on their back and moaning. But now fans just get behind the team, which is fantastic. Who we had? We had Forest,
absolutely.
Reading, Middlesbrough. There was another game I was going to mention and it slipped from my mind.
Bristol City.
Yeah. When that winner went in.
Yeah, so I think was it 6 times we've scored in the last minute or deep into injury time this season?
Yeah,
Six or
something like
seven,
that.
I can't remember.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
long way to continue. Long way to continue. I mean, so for the game against Millwall, I mean, just throw some thoughts at them. And what your thoughts are on the game, and bearing in mind we had a couple of weeks off with no games. What are you
Yeah,
expecting?
looking like it's
Are you
going to
going
go
to the
ahead
game?
now. Yeah, well, if it goes ahead, there's been no talk of it being called off. Millwall played in the last couple of weeks, or
No, they
have they had
haven't.
the games? So it's
Yeah,
both.
Millwall have had the last couple of.
So both teams are going to be in the same boat then, without not having
Yeah,
not played for a couple of weeks. So they're.
but I
I think
suppose wouldn't you say we're in a better position because we've not had really any COVID related setbacks, or do you
no.
think that won't factor into it?
Oh yeah, having a fit squad will be a big advantage, and I think I remember I remember when we played West Brom. There was a rumor that there was a bit of a flu bug going around the side, whether there was or not. So I think if we did have a few players carrying knocks, maybe these 2 weeks off have possibly done some good. So yeah, hopefully we'll be fresh and ready to take on Millwall on Wednesday night.
Absolutely, no, that's fair enough. I mean, what would your score prediction be? Putting out to everybody that's watching, and of course, Rich, what would you predict?
2-0.
2-0 City win. Goal scores?
Goal scorers Godden, and you know what? He hasn't scored for a few games. Gyökeres.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Start
I
on
was gonna
both.
go.
Start with both of them. Be positive in how we approach the game.
Yeah, I was actually gonna go. I was actually gonna go 2-1 City to win. So I was gonna go with Gyökeres to score one, and then O'Hare to score the other. Just simply because I'd like to message Adam about his O'Hare reaction. Uh, just like pushing him on that. I know he loves to
Adam's
hate
desperate
on.
for O'Hare to score.
Yeah,
He's
I know.
desperate to see it.
It's all banter. Yeah.
He, he
No, he
wants
loves
to be proven wrong.
it. No, it's a shame he couldn't join tonight, but obviously, yeah, we'll see what happens. But nice one, Rich. I mean, before we wrap up, is there anything you want to cover on
Yeah.
tonight's show that you think we haven't done?
Oh, if we're going for most improved player of the
Yes.
year of 2021, we we can mention Gyökeres because when we signed him, when we got him on loan, I think it was back in because we had him on loan originally. I think it was back in January. Uh, he was just coming off the bench really. Looked okay, but yeah, I know he hasn't scored for a few games, but he's been really set the championship alight early on in the season. 9 goals in the first 10 games, was it?
Yeah.
But you could also mention Ben Sheaf, and you could also mention Jamie Allen because I question
Yeah,
whether he
Jamie
was
Allen
a
decided.
yeah, I question whether he was a championship quality. I think you, me, and Adam all sat here. We were all sat here doing a podcast in the summer about Jamie, and we mentioned Jamie Allen, thinking, was this a level too high for him? But well, we all saw his performance against Huddersfield, so I think he's answered his critics.
Yeah, no, he's definitely done well. Some of the games he's played definitely improved the performances. Um, I would say Gyökeres, like you said, last season I don't think he got much of a run in because I know he came in with Ostigard. Ostigard sort of took over as the star of the show.
Yeah, he was coming
Shame
off
we
the
couldn't bring in the
bench.
black.
I think when you're coming off the
I
bench all the
remember
time, you're not going to have a chance to do a lot. But
didn't he score away at Stoke? That crucial win
yeah,
that we needed. Was it like
yeah. In fact, talking about we were struggling to think of goal of the year contenders, but yeah, that's one.
yes, absolutely. Before I go on to Darren's comment, before I go on to the next topic, I'll bring up Darren's comment. So, would you give Fads a new contract? Most improved players: Dom Hyam, future captain. Ben Chief is shocking. Okay. Oh wow. So Darren is not a Ben Chief fan, eh?
So how long's Fads
Interesting.
got left on his contract?
I'm not entirely sure. I need to check that. Need to have a look.
But yeah, Dom Hyam. I was going to say name him as perhaps an unsung hero of 2021 because I don't think he's missed many minutes of football at all. And I can't remember. I think I can only remember him making one mistake all year. That was Derby at home when he gave the
So
ball
apparently,
away.
so from what I've seen, Kalma Fadzin has signed a new deal until June 2022, extending his stay, which started in 2019, and he has 80 appearances so far. Interesting.
Yeah, I'd be negotiating a new contract with him.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, as I was saying about Dom Hyam, though, yeah, he's not missed many minutes of football at all, and I can only remember him making one mistake. That was Derby at home when he gave the ball. But
yeah,
6 months. So
no,
yeah,
no.
new contract for Fads in the summer.
So who would you replace McFadden with? So I know we can extend this contract, but at some point you're going to have to start looking at the future. I mean, would you say that Michael Rose would be a good shout, or do you still think we need to go and invest?
Yeah, I think we've always got to look to improve the squad if the club wants progress. But yeah, I'm a fan of Michael Rose, to be fair. He had a good game against Huddersfield. He has a good game every time I see him play. Blackburn away was very good.
No, that is true. That is true. Nice one, Darren. So Rich, before we tune up, I'm going to bring up one favorite topic of yours. So, favorite podcast of the year.
I think I hope Darren appreciates this, but probably the one we did after the Peterborough game, and me and Adam were both experienced. You've seen it with me tonight. Bit of noise in the background from my daughter, but I think for sheer entertainment, if you're watching the one after the Peterborough game, and I know exactly what Darren was going through. When Darren came on, opened his mouth, and then had to leave came back, had to leave again. You watch that after a few beers. In fact, we did, didn't we? Although I can't talk though because there was one we did. There was one we did. It weren't a Sky Blue one. It was one we did when the Euros was on, and I had my daughter making a noise in the background all the way through. I wasn't concentrating. I was proper winging it. I think you and Adam were doing most of the talking, and I was just agreeing with you.
I remember that one. You struggled in that one. Yeah, I remember.
I've watched it back. It didn't come across as bad as I thought, but I didn't really have a clue what I was. I couldn't. Yeah. I was just focusing on the noise.
Darren's come up with the bloody kids. Fair enough. Interesting. Now Darren's actually put another comment here. Try saying JCS. Interesting. Who's JCS again? Johnson? No, that's JCH. Clark Harris.
That's what I thought.
Fair enough, mate. Well, as always, guys, thank you very much for tuning in today. It's been an
I think the podcast we did, we did a really good one. Me and Adam, just after the. It's one of the early ones we did. It was just after we'd stayed up last season. I think that was a fun one to do, just because we were in such high spirits after staying up. And the one we did after the Forest. They're all good fun to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And as guys, as you've seen from the comments, we will be collaborating with the Sky Blue Hub going into the new year. So stay tuned. Myself, Rich, and a few of the other guys that represent Unfinished Article will be on that. So that should be epic. Looking forward to collaborating with them. Let's see what we've got in the comments.
Any podcast we do after we've won is always fun to do.
Absolutely, yeah. It is interesting. So Darren's comment, Johnson Clark, Salter, permanent. Okay.
I don't think we could get him permanent, to be fair. I just don't think we could afford his wages, and I think he's going to be a Premiership player.
Nice. No, thanks for that, Darren. Appreciate it. But guys, that's a wrap for today's episode. Myself and Rich will be on, I think, next Sunday, hopefully. Or you never know, maybe sooner, depending on how we feel after Wednesday's game. But as always, thank you very much for tuning in. Keep leaving a like, subscribe, share this on your socials. You can see myself and Rich's Twitter handles below. So if you want to reach out to us on anything you want us to see us cover, let us know. But until next time, stay safe. Have a good New Year, guys. I hope everyone had a good Christmas. And play up Sky Blues.
Yeah, play up Sky Blues.